If you know of third years or something that you're in contact with, can you you just ask them to see if they'll be able. There's some that expressed a desire to actually have a feel of what's going on here. So if I know those of you in the association will probably have their contact details, just send a message and tell them that we are streaming via Lighton's YouTube channel, so they can confirm maybe if they're able to do that. But other than that, I think we should be able to. I don't know if I'm recording this. Did I record? Did I press on record? Guess I can start recording. I don't know. Okay. All right. I hope it's good. I mean, we are 30 minutes late, but that's fine. I hope the very first team is ready. So again, like I said, thank you very much for coming. I don't know if all the groups are here. It looks like there are very few of you. Yeah, and here maybe you can, Mr. Mbeo, you can reach out to Mr. Molim via the WhatsApp group to say he can watch the stream and then we'll be able to participate with that. All right, so normal sequence of events. I think we did send out details about what is expected of you. We will follow the schedule, right, shared with you. I'm going to beam it up again for the benefit of those of you that, again, may not have seen this. We always have such characters, right? So you will have a total of 10 minutes. We shall stop you if you go beyond the 10 minutes, unfortunately. And then there will be an additional 5 minutes where you demonstrate your system, right? And then another 5 minutes for the Q&A session. We don't think the demo would last that long, but yeah. So without further ado, I suppose we can start with project team number 2. Unless if there are any thoughts or comments from our colleagues, Dr. Walia or Mr. Mbeo, in terms of what the students should look out for as they are presenting. Yeah, it's just an exam, it's a normal exam. Although this exam was rigged, right? You were given the solution. So, all right, so group project team number 2. You can use my pointer here, my laser pointer, if you wish to. And if you want, what I can do is I will be, I'm going to sit here, but I will, there's a chair, I'll sit there. I'll be signaling, 5 minutes left or something, right? And then 1 minute left, so that, right? It's not like I'm raising my hand if I do that. All right. I don't know who these are, but I don't know, this team is made up of one person, I think. So, Josephine, you can tell me. I thought it was 4 people, but there's just one. Oh, there are 2, actually. Oh, wow, they're not 2. How is this? There we go. Yes. This is what it is. Instructions are sent through. So what you do is, you know how to use this, right? It's waiting this way. Okay?
So we're standing here?
Well, I don't think you'd want to see it, but... Well, I'll sit here.
We are here not to waste time. We are one engagements. Can we start our work in the presentation? Who is talking? Can you be talking? And please, let us give them the audience and speak louder the way you talk outside.
So I don't know, you are too squished. So the thing is, we have the laser pointer. Maybe if you want, if this thing will probably work, what you can do is you can both stand there. You'll be able to, if you want to refer to the screen, you can just look at the projector. Is that fine? Yes. Good. Mr. Harry, so you move that side. How is that?
I think it's good.
Are you fine?
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Febi Chola. And I'm coming to our presentation. This is Project Group. We have Gary Banda, Jocelyn Masuna, and myself, Febi. So we're doing a project for Mikalo, a microfinance institution that does not currently have a system where they keep their information. So our project aims on creating one for them, or rather already created a system for Mikalo to keep their information and also access their customers online. This system also helps them apply for loans, the clients, wherever they are, anywhere, whether in the market, as long as they have internet connection, they're able to access the loan application. They apply online and they're submitted, and the admin check and offer the loan to them. So the reason why I came up with this project was because we noticed that the company keeps their information offline, which is the risk to them losing that information, and also they don't have access to the customers as much as they would want to, because you find that sometimes the customers may want to come but they're busy. So this system helps them achieve that, access the customers, improve their business because it can have them more clients, and also keep their information. The objective, one of the things that the system is the fact that it is effective, very efficient, and it is usable for the administration of the card. It is also a very flexible system which helps them to store the information, keep that information, enter the information, and it is easy to retrieve. The other objective that we have achieved is that the system is able to manage that information. The next project will continue from there.
I'm glad about the presentation. So our research questions are as follows. Is the system identify the effect of web database management and the computing system? Is the system designed flexible, integrated for data entry, management, storage, and being able to retrieve the information? Number 3, is the system effective, usable, or efficient? So all these questions are heavy as such. So the method that was used to collect data and design and technique sampling is. So the research was conducted at the Mikalo Microfinance office within Zambia. So the marketeers also were interviewed in street market and other places, together with farmers that are involved or that are clients to the Mikalo loan firm. So system implementation. So the system was built using HTML, CSS as front end, and also MySQL as back end. PHP was used to connect front end and back end as well. And then the actors that are going to be using this system are the marketeers, farmers, and also the administrators, the owners of the system. So this picture shows the categories that the system offers that are visible to the clients, the customers. If I'm a marketeer, I'm able to see the marketeer there, and then I click apply as a marketeer. If I'm a farmer, I'll click farmers and apply, renting and stuff like that. So my colleague will continue from here.
So I'll talk about the system features. So the web database application has the admin dashboard. So the admin dashboard, it has this is the page visible to the administrator. So the administrator is able to approve loans. The administrator is able to see who has applied. For example, if it's the farmer or the marketeer, the administrator is able to do that. And the administrator is also able to change the password. So this picture shows the admin dashboard. So the next one is the user interface. So this is the initial step for marketeers and farmers. So that is where the application form is, where marketeers, farmers, like whoever wants to apply for a loan, and they're supposed to enter their personal details. So this shows the form, the user interface, and then the next feature is the home page. So the home page, It shows the contacts, like it shows the sub pages, the pages for about us, services, contact us, and also some other information that might be useful. Maybe before they apply for a loan, you have to see what the Mikalo finance offers as a service. System evaluation. So this application, the web database application, underwent 3 types of testing: component testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. So component testing. So all the components were tested to check the bugs, errors, and other essential changes were fixed during this process. For example, when the application is developed and then you're trying to enter the information and then you can't see it on the admin dashboard, so we had to correct those errors. So this figure displays like one of the features on the dashboard, like on the home page. Yeah, so this is an example of component testing. It's here it's showing like displays error wrong input. So when the user or the client enters or the format that the user has used is wrong, or it is incorrect, so the system will tell that person to say you entered incorrect details. So this feature also is one of the components. It's one of the.
Excuse me. We are not supposed to have 2 parallel meetings. If you want to go outside.
Yeah, so this is an example of the component testing. So this was, for example, that when the client or the marketer applies and then the loan has been rejected. So this should it will show. So all these were tested. The testing that were done, we were able to see if at all the system is going to be properly operated. My colleagues will continue from where I ended. So I'll talk about system testing. So the entire system was underwent testing using our black box testing technology to make sure that it is working perfectly. Acceptance testing. So to ensure that the application complies with their needs of the stakeholders they participated in acceptance testing. The primary specification is for the end users who are certified. This is the results of the system. The system has navigation that are easy to operate, loading times relatively fast, and the system has good display content, and the system displays a successive message if the user enters correct details, and it also displays an alert message if they enter wrong details. So this marks the end of this session. So we'll continue to the next session of the demonstration system.
We are using. What's your email to go to the
The
website?
thing is, we have to open Zoom still.
Yeah.
People want to use the wireless mouse, the touchpad.
Is it? Sir, do we have Zamp on this PC?
Sorry?
Do you have Zamp on this PC?
You have what?
Zamp. Our system has not been lost yet, so we're using Zamp.
So the demo is, how would you want, why would you want to use Zamp on my PC? I don't have Zamp installed.
The system, the server that the system is running on
Yeah.
is Zamp. So we have to use it in order to access the system.
No, but what you're saying then is you want to set it up on my computer.
So we use
I
our.
can use mine.
No, but these instructions were sent to you. Do you read emails? An email was circulated, you were told, make sure you host your system on a publicly accessible platform. Demonstrations. We can't start fidgeting around.
If they are not ready, they can go and sit. We shall ask the questions. on that aspect, we are doing the reason. Because you needed to host the system. There is a free platform where you need to host your system for demonstration. So if they have not done that, it's fine.
So our colleagues here seem not to have seen the email I'm talking about.
Yes.
Is this the case with everybody else? Did you see my email about publicly hosting? You did, right? It's very unfortunate. I use this opportunity. It's very unfortunate. I've always wondered, right? If you have a group of 4 people, I would understand if maybe 1 or 2 people fail to do some of these basic things. But when the whole group fails to read even emails, and there's a bit of a problem with that, right? Either there's a problem, a serious problem, or you are lying, right? Or both.
So, Dr. Philip, you want them to install somewhere?
No, there's no installation. I was just copying something from here. So we can go to the Q&A session.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that one we can store it.
Yep. I don't know, seeing as your supervisor will not be allowed to comment, we can maybe have Mr. Lewe.
On what?
Just elaborate on what research method that you used. That was very vague. It's extremely vague.
Okay.
Just elaborate on the research method.
Okay, so since the company is a startup, it's very small, we chose to use interviews for all our stakeholders, the farmers, the marketeers, and the administration at Mikalo. So we've got a very small sample size of farmers, which were 5 farmers and 5 marketeers who previously interacted with the company, and some who have heard about the company. Was that the question?
So what you've spoken about there, the data collection, you still haven't fully mastered the research method. But we move on, even when you mentioned that you had 5 farmers, 5 marketers, you have a follow-up question. How did you arrive at those numbers? What was your total population? Why did you pick the sample size of 10? What method was used to come to that sample size?
Okay, so the company is small and very few people know it, and very few people have come in contact with the company. So we just used 5 people that have used the company to access the loans, and also we added another 5 for those that have not used the company to get a loan, just to have the knowledge about how they feel should be in the system if at all they are to get the loan and apply for the loan.
And what was the time when you talk about testing technology? Yes, you mentioned there's blackboard testing in Sweden, and blackboard testing technology was mentioned verbally. Can you just go into detail the steps? What exactly was done with this blackboard testing of the system?
Okay, so we first, I hope I understand the question quite correctly. We first checked the first prototype that we made. We went through the whole system just to check if there were any errors, and when we did find the errors, we would go back and control those errors and check again and check if it's working. If it's not working, we fix those errors and like that. I don't know if I understand the question correctly.
They just
Did
go.
you create any test cases? Maybe are there any test cases in your report?
Sorry?
Test cases
For the end users or?
for your system testing.
Oh, our report, yes, our report did show some of the we took like screenshots of how the system reacted when we tested it.
So it's talking about, because this is a CG20 next, but it's talking about test cases, right?
Oh, okay.
The test case has only aspects 3, right? Input, expected output, right? And output from the system. So his question is, did you come up with test cases? Right?
Oh yes, we did. We went to like for example
Give us an example of the test case. If you did.
like for example this one. I hope I'm understanding this correctly. If for example the first part, which is the email part, what we did was we test if we remove the @ character and then put the email. When we do click on apply, it was showing there's an error, you would not fill in something like that. And for even the other input types, we tried all of them just to check if they are working. For the images, we tried putting other unaccepted formats, and we saw that it won't run if we use those other formats, if the client uses those other formats. So we fixed that bug and added maybe some more other formats for images, things like that.
Okay, I have 2 more concerns. Let me just go back to your slide on the research questions. Scroll up to the objectives first, and then we'll go to the results. Scroll down a bit. Alright, now you can just go to the research questions. Alright, so all your research questions, the first 2 you need to refer to the research questions. Grammatical errors in there, you have to refer to the research questions. And the second concern is you have to have a conclusion from your study.
Should we? So the file, but we had 2 files that had the same name, so we mistakenly put the first file on Moodle. But the one on the website has changed grammatic errors.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to tell you whether you're being honest. Just to manage to be very much.
On the website.
But yeah, I mean, it's she said. My issue with this is, and we can start with the research questions. My issue with your way here is, I'll ask you, right, which of these questions is related to the main objective?
The main objective?
In fact, the problem, this is a research project, right? If you look at I don't know if you have the main objective somewhere, it's just at the very beginning. It's saying to make the loan application process faster. Faster and what?
And storing customer information easily.
Faster and what?
Storing customer information easily.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But okay, so that's fine. But the problem we are taking, if you look at your specific objective, none of those are really aimed at assessing what extent is successful doing this.
Okay.
You understand? Like if you look at specific objective number 1, identify the effect of web database application management of data and information. We know, right? We know this technology has been tried and tested. This is why in 2010 you introduced what? Database driven application, because we know the effectiveness of this sort of technology.
Can you just
What I'm saying is it's a trivial question, right? It's not even, it's a trivial objective. You're not even supposed to have it here.
Okay.
It was not supposed to be there. This is too late because I don't think there'll be point in moving, but maybe for your reference, right? It's data where someone reach out, maybe they are applying for a job, and they were asking, a year down the line, we have an updated copy of the report. Can you please replace the one in the document database? No, this is not how this works.
Okay.
You were examining. Which of these, none of these research objectives actually attempt to assess the relative success of what you did. None of them, right?
So
yes.
sorry. So if I understand you correctly, you're saying none of the objectives have met
If you
up
scroll down,
with the system?
I want to see all of the objectives so that you identify effective. Whoever designing a flexible integrated system, develop an effective, efficient, and usable system. Right? You're trying to make the process easier. Right? Isn't this the main argument you're making?
Yes,
So
and
which of these objectives will help you assess that? And how do we know that the solution that you implemented at the end has the potential to make that one process easier? Right? You're supposed to collect data, right? Evaluate the system relative to that objective, or to that question, which you didn't do, right? And so if I was to ask, right, to what extent is this system capable of making the whole process easier?
So my answer to that would be because it's online and filling in a form will be 5 minutes entry. The administration.
But that's not how you test systems. Right? You test systems with the user. The people
Yes.
are not using this.
So
And my question is actually tied to those results that one of the results that you had. This was supposed to be tested by the potential users of the system, or at least somebody who exhibits characteristics similar to potential users of the system.
so
And then you construct the experiment relative to whether or not you can assess if the system is going to make the whole process easy.
easier. So that was covered under user acceptance testing, where we had to interact with the administration for Mikalo, and also the users had to go through the system and check how effective that is.
Only we can point out
Yeah, just random.
one answering this
Why?
question, right? Why is Josephine not telling us anything on that?
Yeah,
Anyway, okay, back and forth here. The bottom line here is none of these objectives point to that, right? Which is unfortunately, we don't know what exactly it is you did when you said you interacted with people from Mikael or something. Mikalo. If you don't know what it is you did with them, right? What sort of study did you conduct? What exactly did you talk about when you tried to get people from Mikalo to Josephine? By way of trying to assess whether the whole process would be easy. How was the study constructed? Because it's supposed to be a study, it's supposed to come up.
We use the interview methods. Interview method to interview the clients and also the owner of the system.
And what was the sequence of things? So you used an interview guide watching the report. Yes, and then how did you sample the participants?
From the
And what specific, what instrument was used, right? In what exactly was done in this interaction, this interview session that you had?
It was face-to-face interview, one-to-one interview as a group, and then we interview, let's say, the chief of IT at the Mikalo, and also the CEO and the director of marketing, and also the director of sales. And then we ask them what they do as in marketing department.
But what you're talking about is like a baseline study, right? You'll be asking them what they do at the very beginning to inform how you're going to design and implement the system. What we're talking about here is what you're doing after you develop the system. It appears in yes.
Yeah, just to add on, we went to, for example, marketeers. We couldn't use questionnaires because it's not everyone who fully understands English, so we had to do face-to-face interviews. So when trying to test the system, we had to ask them, for example, those who can read, we had to find those who can read in English and understand. So we asked them to enter their details, when they enter their details, and then we try to run. And then for the
You enter the details of the different.
we apply. For example, they enter their basic details supposed to be entered. And then we say after sending there, that's when we check on the admin dashboard.
So who was checking? Is it you?
Yes. The time we went to the time
So that's the point. The point here is, you see, the argument, the question is, we're going on this, but we are coming from, remind me here, refreshing, we're asking, what exactly did you do to assess whether it would be easier, right, for people to process loans using the system? And then you're saying you are the ones who did this. You work for me, are you the ones you are biased because you spend many months working on this system? Anyway, A few other issues that a few other concerns that I had here, I mean, aside from the fact that the research aspect of what you did doesn't come out, the description of the methodology, at some point I think you are talking about things that don't really make sense, right? And I think you realize this and then you skip the methodology, right? I was quite sad with misrepresentation of factual data, right? It's called black box technology, right? It's not technology. You know? But anyway, I don't know if Mr. Marino has, I don't know if he's able to go through, I don't know if he has questions. No. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Might be here for a very long time, right? Please. So we can have the next team come through, and then we shall have the needful. I don't know if Arnold's team have bothered to send us their presentation. You're supposed to be presenting, right? You have? Okay. Just download this. Right, so next up is, I think, Natasha and Tim. They're going to be giving a talk titled, is it Unzalaro Membership Records Management System? And what I'm going to do is just do this number 9. Probably want to use this. I think it works. Try this. Forward, back. And then the other button at the top is a laser pointer if you wish to do that.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Natasha Tembo. I'm from Project Team 9. My group member is Group BNPG, Tenasha Nambe. Our project, our research topic was Unzalaro Membership Network and Subscription Management System. So our project aimed at creating a database system by creating a web-based application system that will enable the Unzalaro to be able to check.
Just speak nicely. The way you talk outside your brothers, your sisters, they are not going to eat you or give you lunch. And talk nicely.
So our project aimed at creating a web-based application that will be used by the Unzalaro executives members in order for them to verify and check for missing medical and membership subscription transactions. This research was achieved through interviews that were conducted with the Unzalaro executive members in order to assess any challenges and recommendations. So basically, the Unzalaro have been facing problems in verifying and validating the member subscription information. This is because they have been depending on the manual process. This process, however, is outdated and tedious. Therefore, there was need for us to revamp it. Our problem statement. The Unzalaro has been depending on a schedule from the salaries department in order to verify and in order to monitor members' subscription payment. This system has been giving them problems in identifying which member has received that payment. The main objective of this project is to create a database system that will enable the Unzalaro executive members to be able to keep track, verify, and validate which members are engaged and their monthly deductions. Our specific objectives include this system is able to keep This system should be able to keep track of each affiliation each member is affiliated to. Then it should also identify missing, wrong, and double deductions. Then also it should automatically generate the total amount due. That should also generate the total amount deductions that we are made on the subscription. Then,
looking at the benefit of integration, even discussion. So we previously assured the participants, as well as participants were not forced to take part in the legal discussion programs. Then relevant information is given to them before they participate. Looking at the digital rule, this system, for us to implement this system, it borrows some employees names in order to start from the following systems. Number one is QuickBooks. This is the most popular small business accounting software, which is able to manage income and expenses. It is also used to track the check and cash transactions annually. However, there are limitations of manual entering of data. The second one is the ZOHO, which is the tax compliance software system, which has got receivables and payables management and automating influence. However, it does not have many traces to conduct commitments. Much. Then the last one is the zero. This system is not, it offers businesses detailed financial information to get information in their financial statements. However, it only offers third-party vendor payroll features through integration with other solutions, meaning that it cannot be used alone as a standalone system. My next colleague will take it up from there.
Presenting on methodologies, I'm Bill Benson. This study was conducted at the University of Zambia and integrated the Onzara executive members. It was qualitative in nature. Sample techniques that were used is non-probability sampling. It was purposive sampling is a non-probability sampling. And then one group of people was identified, which is the Onzara executive members. And then the sample size consisted of 4 participants, which were the Onzara secretary, administrator, secretary general, and the accountant. Data analysis techniques that was used was thematic analysis. This involved us reading through the transcript from the interview that we obtained from the Onzara members. Data collection technique that was used was interviews. And out of the total of 4 participants that were identified, only 2 were interviewed. System implementation. The technological stack that was used, it was the main stack, which is a combination of MySQL as a database, Express.js, Node.js, and React.js. Node.js is a JavaScript framework for backend, and then React.js is a JavaScript framework for frontend. System actors, it has 2 major actors, which the Onzara secretary and the accountant. And then the system features, we have the dashboard. This includes the navigation pages. It includes the navigation pages, for example, uploading the schedule, viewing members with missing medical deductions, viewing members with missing medical deductions, viewing the members list, viewing the members for the medical subscribers, viewing the overall monthly deductions for membership, and then viewing the overall monthly deduction for the medical deductions. It also checks, the other one is, it enables the user to view the members who have been deducted twice. And then the last one, it enables the user to check the members who have been wrongly deducted. For example, they are not subscribed to membership subscription, and then they have been deducted to medical subscription, which they are not subscribed to. So this is an example of the uploading schedule feature, where the user will be allowed to upload the schedule in Excel format from their computers. And then this is to view for members who haven't been deducted for medical deductions. This one is for members who haven't been deducted for medical membership deductions. Double deduction, wrong deductions. Then my colleague will continue.
To run through system evaluation mechanism. So, system evaluation is a type of assessment that seeks to assess a system, whether it meets up the software's, to assess a system or a combination of systems, whether it meets up the user's needs. In evaluating the system, we use Test Complete. Test Complete is one of the best testing tools for mobile applications, desktop, as well as web applications. Why Test Complete? Because it supports several scripting languages such as Java, Python, etc., etc. And we used several methods to evaluate the system. These include regression, keyword, as well as distributed testing methods. The diagram below shows the outputs of the Test Complete. Discussions and findings. From the interview we conducted, it showed that there was need to build a database system that would keep track, validate and verify information of Nzaralo subscribers and subscriptions. The challenges that we faced, as my colleagues mentioned earlier, only few stakeholders were interviewed. That resulted in insufficient information obtained, as well as some technical challenges that we had that includes programming and data analysis. In conclusion, the Nzaralo executive should redirect the system because it will provide them with the most convenient, effective way of checking and verifying member subscriptions. The system will provide the register both for medicals and membership subscriptions. Therefore, the system will be generating total for medicals and medicals and subscriptions automatically. Thank you.
Don't use the external mouse, it's going to be a lot easier. This is better. And use this, please. Use the string.
hope that you have been practiced enough to just add it in. On your website, you just go to your website and you click on that link. It's much easier for you to remember the link to your public access application. If there's just a link on your website, I'm not going to link on it. I'm saying instead of what it's doing, when you're searching for login, you could have just added a link on the website. This is why we asked you to create a website in the first place. You click on the link and boom. You're already eating up into your time.
You can't remember the URI.
What am I looking for? What am I looking for?
What do you want? Sorry? Sorry?
It's skipping my spacing.
What application are you looking for? Where do you want to go?
Hello.
So to verify some of these things, we'll ask those of you that have these public access, we'll ask you to share the links in it, so that as you are finding the scores, we can refer to what things will happen later after.
I don't think it has anything to do with the speed because I checked it. What's happening?
So if I do because of the voting, it's saying that I need it.
So this is the dashboard. So the upload feature that I was talking about is this one. Of which so we need to upload the file, of which I don't know what we can do.
But what would you be uploading? What exactly is this file?
It's an Excel file.
No, it is you to know what you're doing. You're prepared for the demo, you know.
It's an Excel file and then it's a specific file.
Yeah, what would be the content? What's the purpose of this feature?
Members of the executive, members of the miscellaneous, and it's about collected amounts in related to the lab. So we cannot display that because.
Why would you be entering details? What's the purpose of entering these details?
Why not just have Excel files?
The thing is, we are not entering the details ourselves. We have a sketch that we collect from the slides, but that already has the details of each member who is, of all the details of the both the membership and the details affiliation. It's more like the mailing register for every member of the political party.
The project is about how do we automate the verification of the payments for membership. Now, the issue is raising is wrong. They came to my office and said they are afraid they can't upload the actual details for the actual members in the names, the money they want to work. And I said, come up with the fictitious Excel sheet for demonstration.
And I'm aware of what this is related to the contract that is given to I was just asking, I was trying to see what the point is. So when I join, if I'm a new member of staff and I join, my details have to be entered in Excel and then the Excel file is uploaded. That's what you're saying?
No. For them to check for the members who have been deducted for membership and medical subscriptions, they have to check through the schedule that they receive from the sales department. They go through manually, like checking who haven't been deducted. So the issue is
because that's not how the law makes.
So the issue is that
wait, I went to my soul, I was taking my father there to went there a couple of times actually. And you go there, Minor Soko does not send the details of the deductions to salaries and office owners, do they? What's the point of doing that? Those things are sent to Muzalao because the deductions are supposed to be done by the union. My medical scheme is with the union. As far as Moses is concerned, they don't care. Yes.
Then we are dealing with the accountant's office.
Yes,
Accountant's office receives the schedule for the contribution the individual to them. But the problem is they receive the manual Excel sheet printed from the salaries department and give it to the accountant to check whether they have paid for all the members, their contribution, their medical contribution. Now for members, there is another account.
So this is, maybe I missed it. So this is to do with deductions.
Yes. So now, it's a big difference. So now this system is that to automate the process of checking. Because these guys have been sitting manually to check whether Dr. Queen's payment has been made to.
We're not linked to, because the platform that Unza uses, right, it's safe, like CDR.
So
there's an API,
they don't do that simply do the Excel sheet, give it to the accountant, to physically count it.
Yeah, so I think this solution, why not link to the API for CDRP instead of using an Excel? That would have been a better solution. Don't you think?
Yeah.
If you upload an Excel sheet, but you don't actually transfer the drawings right with it, how is it different than just having an Excel sheet? Sorry?
Isn't it, his question is similar to, isn't it better than just use the Excel sheet? Because what we are doing is just uploading that Excel sheet. What else does the system have beyond uploading?
I call the amount of members. See, it does need to be people that are paid for that. Don't be able to. Those are other things. So, for example, on the monthly membership deductions, it's going to automatically calculate everything rather than you entering those functions in itself.
So actually the other reason why there is need for having such a system implemented in the system, because there are times where you find maybe an Unzaladu or a lecturer who is a member of Unzaladu, sometimes they are deducted twice. Then they've been having those challenges, the accountant has been having those challenges where to sort out who has been deducted twice. So this one will help, it will more like help the work of the accountant instead of them having to check because they don't have track. So this thing will automatically, it will show to say, this certain person, Dr. Lighton Pili at this month was deducted twice.
Maybe you don't.
doesn't belong to the members.
So you mentioned in your literature review, you mentioned there's QuickBooks, Zohos, Zero. So my question was just, did you find out if you could actually just use an existing system or extend an existing system among those same three or even others, like before just designing the system from scratch? Like again, it's not just these three, even any other system. Is there something that could extend? And maybe it doesn't mean exactly what you want, but it has add-ons or extensions. Finding out what other systems it's similar to what you wanted. In addition to this.
No.
Alright, and then you said you had a sample size of about 4. Was it 4? You had interviewed some of the. Sorry? You interviewed people, but was there mention of a sample size of 4?
Yeah, like the members are 4 people, then one is a district.
Okay. Do you know why you interviewed 2? I know more than 2 if you do the
This was distribution beyond our research that
Okay, and I don't know, you can check in the slide if you have research questions. I just had a concern that there was no research questions indicated. Just check, go to the slides.
No, it's not used in the same system because the power that we employ in Moodle, we don't have
It's the last part of the
we don't have the research system. So we uploaded the wrong files, so uploading the one that has research system. So we had to use this submission to get the research system.
Because the idea is you want to use the same research questions to guide your entire research. Even when you're not talking about discussion of the findings, it should now be related to the same research questions. But also, regarding discussion of the findings, you had spoken about discussion of the findings without any presentation on results before. So that's just a concern. There was a mention, you had a mention on there was just a mention of, you read through the transcripts. That was your data analysis. Was there any scientific method that was actually used with the data that was collected that's come up with your results? Or it was you read through the transcripts, and how did that give you the results? How did you ascertain results from reading through the transcripts?
Okay, thematic analysis actually involves 6 stages. First of all, after reading the transcript, we had to find the similar opinions that were collected. And then we developed themes from those opinions.
Alright, so again, just to repeat, the concern is that you went to discuss your findings without actually going into the details on the results. And even what you mentioned should have been in the presentation. So that's a concern.
Yeah, I'm just interested in, you didn't have the objective here, right? Can you just go to the picture? So did we, what were the, did we go into evaluate the success of this? Did we test it with environment? So how many of what were the reaction? But we didn't see the results. Was this tested by the movement?
Yeah, the system was presented to them. They tried it and they said everything was okay.
They were only interested in calculating the requirements.
Okay, so who is that? Who exactly?
The The executive administrator.
The accountant.
So even in your report, it's written that they said everything was okay.
What?
So even in your report, it's written that they said everything was okay. That's how you presented your plan.
No.
What is in the report?
Okay, they were satisfied with the system. They were satisfied.
What were you measuring? What were you measuring? Usefulness?
Effectiveness. Effectiveness.
So then when you went to the accountant, right, or the executive member, how exactly did you measure effectiveness? Right? So you went there and what did you do? Test the effectiveness of the system.
So we asked the accountant, we showed her the system. When we went there, we showed her the system to try it on our computer because we were unable to install it on their computers because their operating system was not, it was more like it needed an upgrade. So we were unable to install it on their computers, so they had to use ours. That's how we tested it.
We're getting to the 20 minutes, but we're asking how you measure effectiveness, right? And we had a discussion about this in 2020. Effectiveness is one of those common aspects when you evaluate the system, right? When you're saying something is effective, it has to be relative to something that is being done. You know, and then so you have to explain exactly how we measure effectiveness.
So how we measure is we took the system to them and then we deliberately entered wrong subscription on one of the stakeholders, and then it was able to show that this entry is wrong.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for All right, we are going to move on to the next group. I believe it's Arnold's team. So if you can come over, sir.
Why do you want to be? It can't be perfect. Just put it down.
Well, so I can tilt it
Yeah, just like that.
Why tilt it any further than
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, see now.
It's important that we get it.
It can't be done in the same way. It's fine.
Sorry, it can't be tilted any further than this. It's better the way it was.
Good morning, everyone. I'm presenting today on its group 15, and my name is Amtinta Liswaniso. My colleagues are Arnold Muleya, Edith Shimimbuta, Precious Muzungu, and our supervisor is Dr. Tuesday. And our discussion is on an evaluation of available free and open source electronic records management systems. So that's just an outline. So our project description was the aim of the project was to evaluate free and open source electronic records management systems. This project was aimed at identifying, evaluating, and later on recommended a suitable electronic records management system. There are a number of challenges associated with records that are kept manually. These challenges may include time consuming when organizing, storing, and accessing the records. Tracking down the required information can be cumbersome. Furthermore, this is no
Continue, we are waiting.
Okay, so tracking down the required information can be cumbersome. Furthermore, there is no proper security to records that are kept or managed manually, for it is easy for anyone to get hold of the information, thereby manipulating the records. Manual records management also consumes a lot of space. Our main objective was to identify, evaluate, and recommend available free and open source
Excuse me, sir. Hey, sir, we are going to chase you. This is serious business we are doing. Sir, continue.
So our main objective was to identify, evaluate, and recommend available free and open source electronic records management systems. Our specific objective was to identify, to evaluate, and to recommend a suitable, available, free, and open electronic records management system. Our research questions were: what are the challenges of keeping records in hard copy form? What is the current state of records management practices? Are there records management policies, procedure, and filing systems in place? So our proposed solution was to recommend the recommendation and implementation of a free and open source electronic records management system, which will reduce the cost and stress that are experienced in institutions.
So I will continue from where she has ended. I'll look at related work. And then to start with, I'll look at our Fresco community. Our Fresco community, this is an open source electronic records management system that provides document management, collaboration, teamwork, and repository, as well as workflows. Also, our Fresco edition our Fresco edition allows organizations to manage any type of content, from simple office documents to scanned images, photographs, engineering drawings, as well as large video files. So when we open up our Fresco community, records management for the first time, that's the dashboard that we're presented with. We have the records management, the file plan, and so on. We'll see more in the demonstration. And then also we'll look at Open Clinic. Open Clinic is an easy to use open source medical records system written in PHP. It has been mainly thought for private clinic surgeries and private doctors. It is platform independent and it has a multi-language architecture. It was developed in 2006 by Belgium company Exchange Solution It is an open source integrated hospital information management system covering management, administrative, finance, clinical, labs, x-rays, pharmacies, meal distribution, and other data. So when we open up Open Clinic for the first time, we log in, that's the dashboard we are also presented with. Also, we have OpenKM. OpenKM is an electronic document management and records management system at the same time. It was developed in 2005 by 2 developers involved in open source technologies who decided to start open source project based on high-level technologies to build a high document management system, and they choose to call it Open Knowledge Management. So once we open up OpenKM, that's the dashboard we are presented with. And then there are some key features, like with regards to OpenKM. It includes an version control, records management, information governance, electronic signatures capturing, content lifecycle management, and mobile access. A file plan for OpenKM manages specify how records are and organized once they have been created and or received. Provide a roadmap to records created and maintained by the organizational unit, and facilitate the positioning of the records.
I'll proceed with procedures and methods. The evaluation commenced by identifying already existing electronic records management systems. So the system was evaluated and tested using Linux Ubuntu, which is mostly compatible with most of the systems we evaluated and tested. Research approach we took is the research, a qualitative approach using the document analysis technique. This process involved combing the internet and identifying existing works and projects. The process included evaluating electronic and both physical documents, articles, both online and offline, and websites. Thereafter, interpretation of the documents and in order to gain an understanding of their content, and later developed upon the information provided. Ethical considerations are a very important part of any research proposal, and as such, for this research we use the proper acquired data by ensuring that there is validity and reliability of the sources by avoiding plagiarism when using other people's work. We also had to make sure that the proper citation was given, and due diligence by providing links to websites to which you can download these particular softwares. The challenges with electronic records management are that a lot of records are lost at the creation stage due to the relativity, easy record creation and disposal cycle. Electronic records are not accessed when there is no power. They are expensive to maintain as they require adequate investment in software to overcome technological obsolescence. Security and privacy of sensitive and critical data or information of great value to government organizations and individuals held in an electronic media. And in spite of having password controls and audit trails, these controls are widely circumvented. And e-records can be easily duplicated, therefore copies and originals look alike. And it is difficult to find out an authentic original copy.
So in conclusion, this paper has endeavored to explain the technology records management systems, which may be a solution to records management problems encountered in organizations. Some of the advantages include the following. They save time, they are easy to access, create storage space, and can be accessed everywhere as long as there is internet and the necessary gadgets. The disadvantages are that they are expensive to institute, they need trained staff to manage it,
They cannot be accessed when there is no internet or power or the necessary gadgets to use, such as smartphones or computers. Additionally, they need backups, and they are also prone to security attacks. But since the world is fast embracing ICTs in virtual every aspect of life, it is important that all institutions involved in records management, such as libraries and archives, also invest in ICTs in order to enjoy the benefits that come with their use. In recommendations, in light of the aforementioned discussion, the following recommendations are made. Record management software has been developed to provide a number of key functions to facilitate the capture, archiving, storage, search, retrieval, retention, tracking, reporting, and management and sharing. So the researchers noted the importance of having records management manually and electronically. This research notes that despite the ongoing debates of which one is the best, is better, it would be none the wiser to classify either as good or bad ways of keeping records, and recommend that both ways are beneficial to an organization. As to its findings, the researchers note that both manual and electronic keeping of records is important for an institution. As such, recommend that organizations put in place mechanisms that will strengthen both electronic and manual record management environments. With regards to the alfresco records management system, it has noted that it is able to accommodate all the features above. Thank you.
No, saying I'll start, but I was not going to participate in this. So, if you can go to your objective. So when I first saw your research objective, right, sometimes I'm thinking, your research objective is not research research. Your research objective. Sometimes I'm thinking that there's a bit of a problem here. And then, when we went to the research questions, then things made sense, right? So my comment here, not the first one here, maybe there's a reason why, but there's a mismatch between the objectives and your research questions. If you look at these objectives, they are all tied to like an open source electronic records management system, and identify available platforms, for instance, evaluate these available platforms, and then recommend an appropriate platform. If you go to your research questions, ideally, the research questions, if you go there, you can click and go there. There's supposed to be a mirror. You want to click and go there. The research right? There's supposed to be a mirror, right? Or objectives. These are not. If you look at the first question, what are the challenges? And this makes sense, right? But none of the objectives speak to this. In fact, none of the objectives speak to these questions here, which is quite sad. I thought I was and then sometimes there was mentions and things that if I say testing was done with the wound, you see, I don't know what that means here. Right? What testing are you doing with the wound? What type of testing is it exactly?
Okay, so for the softwares, the testing, what we meant by that is for us to evaluate the...
So you deploy the platforms within the wound operating system.
Oh,
that's what you meant to say.
Yes, that's what we meant to say, to deploy.
And then again, more, it's interesting that because what I myself have been looking at electronic record systems for quite some time since I joined the team in 2018, right? This is very important. Nice stuff here. But I was looking at your recommendation, right? And none of them speak to what platform exactly you're using. Because you're saying that one of the things you're aiming to do is to recommend the platform. Platform recommending, if you look at the recommendations you're making, right? Nothing to do with what you do. So, I guess I'll end with this question. If you look at this system that you evaluated, what exactly are you evaluating? What we're trying to find by doing your report is you're saying you did a measurement because you're saying you looked at this, you need to do something, but as you are reading through these manuals, I imagine you came across some appropriate literature with aspects that you're evaluating. What is an example aspect that you were looking at when you were evaluating this platform?
So we're looking at how a records can retain retention of a record, meaning is this software able to download, upload, and how long can this record be kept? Like it.
Downloading and uploading is not verification. Now, becoming somewhat of an expert with our records management here, right? What you're talking about is policy associated with retention periods and at what point it expands record, right?
Yes.
But that's fine. Tell us then, which of those systems you evaluated are able to do that? We know our Fresco does it, but which other one is able to do it?
Yes, that's why.
We tried the other two that we tested, like OpenKM and OpenClinic, didn't really have those ones.
What other aspects do you look at? What other aspect did you look at when you evaluated this system?
Because Open Clinic and the Open Care didn't have the documentations that we needed most to help us to record management.
Yeah, but the question is, what other aspect, right? What characteristic of these different platforms did you look at? Right? That's the question. She just mentioned an important characteristic associated with records management, right? To see if the platform implements some sort of feature that allows you to specify the retention period. So what other aspect did you look at?
Okay.
What process did you go through? What process did you go through for you to install Fresco so that you're able to see what you're able to see on the screen there?
Okay, so the process we went through is actually going to the website itself after identifying the system and then downloading the software itself. But before we could do that, we needed to install an environment that was suitable for the for the system, because with the other softwares that we had previously before installing the software, we experienced errors and most of the times crashes.
I'll find the question. So I know for a fact that we've worked with our Facebook for quite some time now. We know that when we install our Fresco, right, it's native form, it's not the records management system. So the question is, how do you get to a stage where you're able to see if you can take us to the screenshot where we're able to see our Fresco installed? How did you get to a stage where our Fresco is able to show you things? Is the question. What did you do to the installation of Fresco? What configuration did you have to do?
Configurations.
When you install our Fresco, right, it doesn't show you this.
Yes, it doesn't show us this.
So how did you arrive at setting up the records management site? Because we can see here, this is the records management site, right? You have the file plan, you can search a record, but when you install our Fresco for the first time, you will not see these things. There's no answer, that's fine.
As a team, can you just,
sorry?
because we're as a team, can I jump in?
Yeah, I know this because we tend to see discuss these things. Yes, you can answer for the benefit of the others. So by the way, the reason that it's not like to make your lives difficult, one of the things we are assessing is to see if people are actually right. We know that in these groups there are some people that simply don't do anything, right? Yeah, you can tell us what you did.
Okay, so basically, when we install our Fresco for the first time, it's a document management system, so we need to convert it to a records management system. So we just had to install a governance module, and then install some packages, and then it's converted to a records management.
Thank you very much.
Just you look at the slides. There's a certain slide I'm looking for. What would the beginning, something at the beginning of the slides?
Sorry, at which slide?
Go through this.
If you go back to the slides, this is scroll down. Next. Okay. Sorry, just go up. We'll go on down.
Up or down?
Up. The way you have the project description. Right, and then the next slide. Right, just keep it here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let's go to the next slide. Alright, the next, let me just check. Alright, somewhere in the beginning slides, just go to the beginning again.
So this is the beginning.
Okay, I just know during the presentation there was a mention of recommending one of these electronic records management system. Right, so the first person was just in which context were you trying to recommend one of the systems? Because it was very general. I don't think some of the systems actually cater towards certain scenarios more than others. Like you had brought some examples of the system that's used in the medical field. You have some systems that can store images. So were you looking for one general system that can be representative of all the others in any single scenario, and do not consider that some of the systems just work better in specific scenarios? It's a bit of a weird question, but just try and simplify it. Did you not consider that some of the systems just work best in specific scenarios? Because from the presentation, it sounds like you're just looking at the general overall system, which is the best in any scenario.
I'm not so sure if I got your question right, but I think we're looking at among the softwares we looked at, and then we looked at the usability of these softwares and the functionalities, the functions they provide. So we looked at which system is able to provide like all those aspects, the registration cycle period, and the usability aspect of the
And so, just have a follow-up. Suppose you do find a system and you recommend a system which, from your results, has the best usability. And I'm a medical professional. There's a system that's catered towards a medical professional. Would you still recommend the one that has the best usability?
Not quite. Unfortunately, for our presentation slide, we admittedly didn't do a good job, but in our report, it specifically states which system we would recommend in different sectors. So, for example, our first scope was for like in the business entity, then Open Clinic was for health, and Open KM was specifically aligned to entrepreneurs and organizations.
Okay, I have one more question. Just go to your conclusions.
conclusion.
Just go down from the notes. Just go back up to the conclusions. When you're talking about the conclusions, you had mentioned that the records management systems, they save time, they can be accessed anywhere on the internet. Don't you think some of these that you put in the conclusions have already been found in other established studies? So my question is, what actually differentiates your evaluation of your research project from the other studies that have already been done in the same area? What differentiates your study from the studies that have already been done regarding these record management systems?
Could you rephrase your question, sorry?
We'll have it in two parts. The first part of the question is the conclusion that the records management system save time and they can be accessed anywhere. Wouldn't these findings have already been found in other existing studies? And then the second part is what differentiates your study from the existing study?
Okay, to answer that, it is true that most of for the first part of the question, they have been already discovered, and we are just adding on to what has already been discovered, and we're highlighting that this is some of the things that have been found. And then for the second part of the question, I think maybe my colleagues can take that part.
For the same question, as you mentioned, you have indicated what has been added to what has been found. Can you actually distinctly state what has been added compared to what matches with the existing studies? So I don't think it came out in the presentation, but I think that will be the last question. Can you actually just simply indicate what has been added and what was similar to the existing studies?
For this one, it's because like in most organizations here in Zambia, I think most of them are still using the ordinary of keeping records in hard copy. So this one is more like prompting them to try and use the new electronic records management system, like so that organizations are able to transit from using the ordinary way of keeping records into the electronic records management.
You actually do that. If you conduct a study to find out that most organizations in Zambia actually do that, or you're just these are hypotheticals, you did actually do it. You're just talking about things that you think. And it's quite sad because one of the research questions is the state of records management. And I was going to come to that because if you catch your methodology, nothing you mentioned in there speaks to the research question. So one wonder what will happen here. It's as though we just rushed on and started installing our first one. Up in cleaning, whatever else we do. It's quite unfortunate. Any other questions in the interest of time? Okay.
Even still, what she mentioned, these organizations could be reformed by some of the existing studies.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. Yes. Thank you. All right. So we're going to move on. We're getting back to our normal schedule now. So we're moving on to project team number 1. Now it is. I think. So again, I'll refer you to this schedule. We're done with team 15. We're going to listen to. Is it Swift Student Hostel Maintenance System? Wow. I don't know if it was just me, right? I don't know if you thought we forgot. We said it not to demo our first class, right? So it's going to be monthly as a 0. Is there a demo? It's on that. It's better, I think, to be fair, they did not demo, so to allow them to just showcase the class to the system. Sorry? Yeah, we can come through. I don't think they are ready yet. Keep them out here. Otherwise, we'll put it
Come. Do your presentation as they are organizing themselves.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna need to plug this into your PC. That's fine. I'm gonna need to plug this into your PC for a demonstration video. So it's very short.
Sorry?
I'm gonna need to plug this into your PC.
Plug what?
This.
What is that?
It's flash.
What is that?
What is this? There's a video there that we want to use for the demonstration.
There's a what?
There's a video that we want to
The
use.
demonstration is not a video. The demonstration is an artist. You see, we know these things, right? If you did not develop anything and you're supposed to develop something, you probably can have together some interface, right? And then you demonstrate it, passing it as something that actually works. The demonstration is not a video. No, a demonstration is an actual interaction with the system. And in fact, what I do afterwards is all of us are going to have to interact with this system that you set up or you install.
Yeah, well, the link is going to be sent. This is a demonstration of the actual system in play.
So that's not the demonstration is not the, it's not, if you have the video, that's not the demonstration. The instructions were sent out.
Or could you just use that for now? Like,
no, just
not allowing that. We have rejected your friends who are not involved in the system. So just do your presentation. If you have no system on the platform, we are ready to continue.
So, greetings. My name's Wale Clement. The theme of our presentation is Swift Hostel Maintenance System. Now, of what benefits particularly to the University of Zambia? Well, in recent past, there has been an increase in the admission of students to our institution. This, however, has ripple effects on the maintenance system that is used by the operational department simply because it is paper-based. We were also motivated to undertake this research owing to the general outcry coming from the student populace with regards to challenges they face in laying down their complaints. Group 1, sir. Thank you. So it's against that background that we embarked on the research whose main or central theme was to improve student hostel maintenance at our institution, the University of Zambia. All right. So the specific objectives constituted to investigate the operations of the existing system used in the management of facilities at the University of Zambia. We further investigated the challenges associated with the current maintenance system. And most importantly, we assessed how the current maintenance system can be improved to mitigate challenges faced with students. Therefore, the research question is implied response. What is the current hostel maintenance system used at the University of Zambia? What challenges are associated with the current hostel maintenance system? And what can be done to mitigate those challenges? You may also wish to know that we carried a thorough literature review. Dan will take us through that. Dan.
So what we have here, summarized in this table, is the various related works that we looked at. So several other institutions across the world have developed similar systems as ours. So we observed some flaws in those systems, and we tried to work on those challenges in the Swift hostel maintenance system. Now, these are a lot of them. For example, we have the dormitory management system for another institution. So it had incomplete digitization of the platform, the form, non-periodic maintenance scheduling. So those are some of the flaws that we have tried to mitigate in our system. So we look at proposed solutions.
The proposed solutions are simple. The aim was to develop an automated hostel maintenance system, and as the system was the ideal choice to help address the challenges faced by stakeholders in making maintenance requests. And the system was supposed to be efficient in minimizing and reducing the use of paper signatures. We prepared a flowchart with regards to the proposed solutions that shows how data would flow amongst the actors and the modules that were to be included in the system. The ethical considerations include informed consent, the liberty to withdraw, participants' confidentiality, and we made sure that every piece of information that was gathered was non-subjective. The methodology includes the procedures and methods that were used in the data collection process. And the study population consisted of about 83 participants, which consisted of this is a cumulative total of both students and members of staff that were interviewed, distributed questionnaires to, and the other method of data collection that was utilized was the document analysis of documents of previous applications or systems of the same that were created. And the developmental method that was used was the agile and configuration and integration developmental methods. Data analysis was aimed at inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and visualizing data. Tables, pies, bar charts, and column charts were used for data interpretation. Data flow diagrams, flow charts, entity relationship diagrams, and use case diagrams were used for data presentation as well. The system was evaluated in three phases. The first one is unit testing, which focused on models independently of one another to locate errors in each and every model. The second one was integration testing, which took the units and integrated them into one to build the program structure, and was tested as a whole. Acceptance testing was carried out to find out to what extent the system actually would fulfill both functional and non-functional requirements. Moka will take us through the results and discussion.
So we are going to look at the results obtained from the data we collected from our sample, from the people that we interviewed. So this slide shows information about the students. So the first chart shows us the comparison between the gender of the students that responded to our questionnaires as well as their year of study. And the second chart shows how many are living in university accommodation and how many are not. Then the second slide shows us two charts. The first one being if the students know who to contact and who to contact when they have a challenge with the maintenance. And we had a few who said they know who to contact, and the majority said they do not know who to contact. The other chart shows how often students report faults or breakdowns in their hostels, with the majority stating they never make any reports. So on this slide, we have one which answers why the students don't or never make those reports. So some of them responded, they said they are unaware of the channels to go through to report a fault. Others said the reporting process is not convenient and simple enough. Others stated that they are not convinced their problem would be solved. Others said they didn't notice any faults or breakdowns, while others said they know who to contact, and that's just the minority. The other chart shows us the type of issues that students have been facing in their hostels. So this chart shows us, these two charts show us the satisfaction levels of students regarding the quality of maintenance service for their hostels, as well as whether they are satisfied with their accommodation or the physical environment in which they are living. This next slide shows us what challenges students have been facing. So they highlighted an availability of cleaning staff over the weekend, vandalism, no proper feedback, resorting to self-help, an availability of maintenance staff on a 24/7 basis, and lack of decentralization of fault reporting. And then the other chart shows the opinion of the students as to whether or not transitioning from the current manual fault reporting system to a software application would address their challenges, and the majority said yes. Then this chart is about the challenges that the operational departments have been facing, being the resident engineers department and DOSA. So they cited shortage of manpower, insufficient funds, challenges with physical inspection, and communication challenges. We'll now have our conclusion.
Thank you, Moka. So in conclusion, it was observed that there is no feedback mechanism on part of users' satisfaction levels. And what's most surprising is that most students don't know the laid down structure or procedure for reporting a complaint. There's also poor collection of organization documents such as reports. Therefore, we recommend that management should prioritize the allocation of more funds to maintenance services. We also wish to urge them further to create an electronic customer service platform for laying down complaints and collecting feedback for progress of the work. Okay, thank you.
We had 6 from the resident engineers department. So what we did is we did bring a questionnaire to the resident engineer himself, and also 4 of the superintendents from various sections.
Just 4.
6
from resident engineers.
Yes.
Then from dean of students.
We had 2.
We had
2.
Yes.
Why 2?
Wow, because it took a bit of time for us to get a response and permission from the dean of students. So when we got there, we could only get.
So the interview was about what? Just general maintenance challenges, or why were you interviewing?
Yeah, well, there are research questions there. We were trying to find out how the current system works and identify the flaws with it and how we can counter them.
But that doesn't come out on the part of the staff. All we have heard from the part of the staff is the challenges. Funding, blah, blah. Then the students say, no, we don't have people 24/7 to talk. So the whole idea of interviewing the staff is for them to fine-tune, to inform what the system you should develop. So these are the problems, so we want system from you to sit down and come up with a system that's going to resolve it. But the way you chose them to take part in the study, you are not told us. What was the sampling method? What was? Did you tell us that?
No, we can tell you.
Yeah,
we can tell you now. Do you want to do that, Devin? So what we did was looking at the experiences that students have at the University of Zambia. So it's different from a first year to a 4th year. So we decided
No,
to.
what is the sampling method? Don't go far. How did you select the 4 and 2 among those support staff? That's my question.
Yeah, ideally they were not supposed to be 6 and 2. We did say that.
The question is,
just want to state there's something
the sampling technique that you use.
That's the question.
That's all.
If you don't know it,
just
say,
yeah.
Back to don't know, forgotten something. Which
Which
clearly is the case here. Because you don't know how to spell it. From there we get the questions. If you look at your, it's hard to, if you look at the presentation, it's really hard to see what was done. Because first, the title is misleading. What I was expecting is screenshots of what was done, right? We don't know what you did, right? There's no demo, so we don't know what you did. We don't know if you actually did this things. We don't know if there's this swift maintenance system that you claim you did. The only hint that you actually did something is that
flowchart itself is flawed, right? It doesn't make sense. There are a lot of mistakes there. That thing is wrong, right? We probably want to, I don't know if we can allow you to make modifications before we upload these things in our document archive. Did you develop the Swift maintenance system?
Yes, we did.
But you don't talk about it, right? In your results, right? When Mark was talking about the results she's talking about from the baseline study. Right? You don't explain exactly what sort of results you got by way of testing the system and evaluating the system, which is a bit of an issue here. There's no mention of, I don't know if I missed this, but I didn't hear you mention what sort of technology stack you use, right, to implement this system. Very important, especially that you are working towards developing a piece of software. Understand this? Misrepresentation of information at some point, Kevin was like, use cases were used for data presentation. What do you use cases for, right? Talking about the wrong things, right? But anyway, so questions I have. Did you find out from the resident engineer office? I'm going to think there's an internal system. I remember using an internal system when I first joined Unza.
Yes. Actually, yes, they used to.
So why is this not coming out here? That there is a system in place. In fact, why is it not part of the regulated act? If there's a system in place. Your argument, the gap could be that maybe students don't have access to that system, but I imagine students do have access to that system, right?
No, students.
Okay, so that's a gap. Why did you not mention that there's a system in place? And in fact, if there's a system in place, the argument you further make is that we extended or work towards developing a solution that will extend what currently exists.
Okay.
Yes.
To be honest, Dr. P, we have a sample of the questionnaires that were sent out to the resident engineer, signed and stamped, so you can make follow-ups if you like. But the resident engineer did indicate it to say they never wanted anything to do with another system. What they really wanted was more allocation of funds towards the maintenance of, the execution of the services.
But you're missing the point that you're conflicting the argument. The question here is there an internal system? We don't. It's okay, we appreciate the comments that were coming in from the resident engineers. Perhaps what we have done, anyone in the process is to switch to something that makes sense, right? If your potential stakeholders are telling you we don't want the system, you should not have proceeded with this because you did this anyone in the process, but that's fine. The question was, is there an internal system in place? And if it is, how does it?
No. They don't.
Did someone not say yes?
They stopped. There used to be a system. They started using that system in 2015. That's what we were told. It's out of commission. It's not working. One of the challenges they cited was, sorry? Yes, that's the information we received.
Yeah, my other question was, why don't you have solutions for the system? That's fine.
You mentioned you had 83 participants. Why did you have 83? How did you count 83?
Sorry, I didn't get that. If you don't
you
mind.
had 83 participants. Why 83?
83? Okay. So yeah, because we carried the purposive sampling. So basically, we realized that students are segmented into 4 groups: of first year, second year, up to 5th year. So we just wanted to have a general overview of how these students in different classes would respond to this.
So the follow-up question is, in your sampling for the students, do you know what the population size was?
Yes. That was 75.
Sorry?
75. It was 15 students from each academic year.
Let's talk about the entire population.
No. The entire population.
So around 30,000. That's the answer is okay.
Yes, if you want to know the population size, so even when you have a sample, you cannot estimate what percentage is the sample of the population. You mentioned you used your agile software development, but you didn't actually mention the research method. What research method was used in your study?
But there was a question that he asked similar to Dr. Wai's question. It's clear you're not paying attention to it before, but you need to really seriously think about this, right? Because I'm telling you this, right?
that number that you have is not representative of the population. If you are 30,000 students.
I have two more questions. I just go to the slides where you have the conclusion.
You mean this one?
The next one is some recommendations. I think you have mentioned there was a recommendation management should increase funding, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think this it's already been mentioned, but I had somewhat concerned your title indicated that the system was developed. And then in your recommendations, you're saying that management should increase funding. Then what? So the system's not being used, basically. You made the system, and then in your recommendations, you found out that other things outside of the system are what are recommended. So no one's using the system.
No.
So the follow-up question, which is related to that one, is who uses the system? Who are the users of the system? And what does the system do?
I can respond to that. Yeah, the students, the key custodians who are the co-attendants and also the resident engineer in different departments.
Yes, but again, you didn't actually link the system to your recommendations. So even if they're using the system, what are they doing with the system? Because if you're recommending something else, then the system is not actually addressing it. So you have your third research person was what can be done to mitigate the challenges, and your system isn't recommended. So maybe we'll just we'll actually ask this question, the same question. What can be done to mitigate the challenges? Right. So you have things like management increasing funding.
Yes.
Right. So it still goes back to the same question you have. What is the system for?
But we did indicate to say management should adopt an electronic platform where students will be laying their contents, and to that effect, a Swift student hostel could be a better alternative to that. It's just that we didn't showcase it to you. You are going to see how well it.
How did you actually evaluate the system? Did the students get to use the system?
Yes. We shared the system for students to try and use it.
Was that indicated in the slides?
No.
No, it wasn't. Testing. An evaluation was mentioned that.
No, the evaluation you have was nothing to do with it. So what is asking specific if you are doing acceptance testing, for example, customer testing, what exactly do you measure and how do you measure this? And you're expecting to see the results, either these graphs that you have. So this goes tied to my earlier comment to say you decided to focus more on putting graphs and plots associated with the basic study. There's nothing tied to results you go from the evaluated system. In here, that's okay. There's no demonstration. Thank you very much.
Don't be sad. I mean, this is nice, isn't it? No? All right, we can start.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Diana Banda with my colleagues Mwena Chanda, Arthur Chinga, and Thomas Beery. Yes, and our supervisor is Mr. Pierre Mbewe. We are assigned to develop a predatory journal tracking system for postgraduate students. As we all know, postgraduate students' work comprises a lot of research. So, our second slide is just showing us the introduction to conclusions. So, due to the fact that they deal with a lot of research,
Therefore, access to reputable and credible journals is one of the most important roles undertaken by these students carrying out different research programs at the University of Zambia. However, there have been a lot of challenges in accessing the right and legitimate journals due to abundant availability of predatory journals on the internet. Nevertheless, this research is aimed at building a web-based predatory journal tracking system that allows postgraduate students and lecturers at the University of Zambia to have access to reputable and credible journals publications. Yeah, so our problem statement is that both postgraduate students and lecturers have, in what they face, the challenges they face in accessing legitimate and reputable journal publication to help them in their respective research projects. Therefore, because of this challenge, most postgraduate students end up using and reciting predatory journal publications which contains false and misleading information to support their research findings and recommendations. Yeah, so our broad objective is to create a predatory journal tracking system that will be able to keep track of predatory journal publications and non-predatory journals. Then our specific objectives are the system to differentiate predatory journals from legitimate ones. Also to digitize the tracking of predatory journals. And lastly, to automate the system by the use of spellings and grammar checker feature. Yeah. Then our research questions are, how will the system differentiate predatory journals from the legitimate ones? Then the second one is, how will digitization of the system make it to be effective and efficient? Then the last one is, how will the system be automated?
To walk you through the implementation process of the predatory journal tracking system, our code was implemented using a Python framework called Django. And why was Django used? Because it has a comparable set of elements which are usually required when establishing a website, a method of handling authentication processes, which includes signing up, approving, and signing out, a maintenance dashboard of your web page, forms, and a method of uploading files. Bootstrap was one of the tools which was used, and it is a CS framework which is used to ensure that the look and the feel of the system is enhanced by appealing to the users. The other software includes VS Studio Code, which was used for coding. Then, in terms of the databases, we used SQLite for testing, and when deploying, we migrated to PostgreSQL. FontAwesome was also used because it contains internet library icons. The hardware which was used to come up with the system is an HP laptop with Intel Core i7 with a processor of 2.1 gigahertz and a 128 GB solid state drive and an 8 GB RAM. The page you are seeing is the home page of the system, which contains links to journals. Then the other page you are seeing is the page of the lecturer side, which shows the submitted documents. That's all. And the next presenter will carry on from there.
So on system evaluation, the evaluation of the system entails running the system product under known conditions with defined inputs and documented outcomes. For this research, the blackboard method was used to test the system, and in this case, we also used various testings in order to test the system. So among the testing, we had the component testing. This testing was done by testing components of the system to ensure that they are able to work in line with the functional requirements. Below is a login component that was tested using some sort of test cases. So, and the diagram that you are seeing there is the test case that we used. And the first one talks about the component that we are testing, which was the login component. The description was enter wrong user ID and password. And the expected outcome was to display the error message. The actual outcome was that the system was able to display the error message, and this means that it passed the test. The other testing system that was used was system testing. System testing was carried out to evaluate the whole system and make sure that it is performing according to the requirement specifications, and also ensuring that both functional and non-functional requirements are tested. The last one was acceptance testing. The system was given to the end users to the end users to be tested and evaluated for them to check if the system was performing its intended functions. And under results and findings, qualitative methodology was used in the development of PJTS. The data collection method for the PJTS was interviews. The target population for this system were 20 postgraduate students. However, the sample size were 18 postgraduate students. From this, my next presenter will carry on.
Thank you. So, under findings, below are the findings obtained from postgraduate students, in line with ways the system can use to categorize predatory journals from legitimate journals. So as you can see on the pie chart, the figure above shows 39% of the respondents indicated that the system should be able to categorize the journals using peer review. In addition, 28% of the respondents indicated that the system should be able to categorize the journals by scanning and marking predatory information on the journal. However, 22% of the respondents suggested that a spelling checker should be used to categorize journals on the system. Nevertheless, 11% of the respondents indicated that all the options suggested should be used to categorize journals on the system. In conclusion, to alleviate and eliminate the use of predatory journals by postgraduate students in research studies in the School of Education, the web-based predatory journal tracking system was successfully implemented with the goal to mitigate and alleviate challenges caused by the use of predatory journals by postgraduate students in research studies. Therefore, the system aims at meeting these challenges, tracking down the presence of predatory information in submissions made by postgraduate students. To be able to track down information in the submitted journals, the PGS system will be using peer review feature and spelling check. This is the end of our presentation.
I have a request, a special request. Could we, I want you to check a journal, another journal, to see if it may be detected as being predatory or not. So if you go to journal, then you find the journal of oh yes, use Zagis. Let's see how the system will detect whether Zagis is predatory or not. So if it is going to be the
what should we use, sir?
Journal of library information. Sorry?
What should we use?
Zambia Journal of Library Information as a gem. So we want to see what your system will do by what detecting whether the journal is predatory or not. No, that's okay. Hoping you come
I can't get you, sir.
Zambia Journal of Library and Information Science. I don't know what input your system expects. You can go to
Zambia Journal.
Zaglis, just type in Zaglis, ZAJLIS.org. The point is that it's that.
No, it's okay. That is enough, but
yes, so use that as input. Matter don't need to ask questions, right? So your system, what do you feed it? Do you feed it the name of the job? You are not to this.
because we are working, so test it.
Sorry, like in this case, we need to download the journal.
Sorry,
we need to download the journal.
Oh, you mean one of the articles? Not to do
Yes.
one of the articles?
Yes, one of the articles.
Download it and use it.
It's interesting. So the article is the input.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's an article.
Yes.
How is this still violating the
Yeah, this is the bit of it. I think it's the idea of the violating the bit of it because the idea is supposed to put information about the journal.
Yes.
Because what they're detecting is whether the journal is pretty so what they're doing is going to the journal and throw out information into the tutorial.
Yeah, yes.
Whether there are processing fees and
Yeah, also, yeah.
And I actually have a question to find out how this was done. The reason is the issue. And also as they're doing this, because all of you have done this, right? By the way, what the supervisors will be doing is when they're marking the references, if they detect that one of the references is from a predatory journal, right, they'll obviously deduct marks, right? Because that is wrong. You don't cite things that are questionable, right? So what we're trying to say here is that you will also be the beneficiaries of this, and what you should be asking yourselves is, if you are using a system like this, right, would you find it useful that you download the document and then you upload it into the system? The appropriate solution would perhaps be like a plugin, right? A prompt plugin such that if I'm a Google Scholar and I find a resource, because Google Scholar indexes great literature, right? It will tell me to say, out of these, the journal associated to this thing is greater or not. But that's fine.
Sorry, sir. Where can I find the website for the Google site of our project? That's where the link is.
What do you mean? You don't know the site you think?
I've forgotten, sir. Sorry.
All four of them are forgotten, apparently, right? No. All four of them are forgotten. This is quite shocking.
The link is very...
Now, this project just found it within seconds. You know what's happening.
It's your machine, sir.
I know you're excited for exams. Okay.
So this is the home page of our system. Then we need to log in. It's loading, sir.
Can I say if you can zoom in a little so that you see? Control plus.
Oh, it's loading, sir.
Streaming, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to see if, oh, it's loading now. You managed to load it? I wanted to switch connection, but I think it's, I can switch. Now I know this venue is notorious for